What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to break down some new updates involving Tesla, which you should be watching for as time progresses. Let me first mention that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you are guaranteed 7 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon in just about 16 hours from now. So the offer is going to end today. Make sure you check it out before they run out. Anyways, for Tesla, we talked about something very, very interesting. I told you all that Tesla has this range that we've been stuck in, going back and forth between 173 and around the 180 zone. What happened to Tesla is we got a bit of a dip today into the 173 area. That's exactly as we predicted. Before now, Tesla's getting bought back up towards its 200 EMA. But overall, it's still range bound, and this is exactly what we were talking about in my video from yesterday. So the question is, what's going to happen moving forward? I'll talk about that in just a minute. First, I want to talk about some new updates coming out for Tesla. There's been some talk about how Tesla is allowing for new updates. We have adaptive headlights that just came out. This is going to be very, very important for the European cars with the matrix headlights. They're going to be adapting to different curves in the road ahead of you. It's going to be very, very useful for, once again, adjusting and improving the illumination. That's going to be very useful, especially for the new models out there. And on top of that, you'll have to see different changes and then on top of this, there's some more news that the supercharger races on Beam Buggy Racing 2 is also going to be coming out. So it's actually pretty cool right here. People at the supercharger site could have their own leaderboard, and drivers could actually compete while their cars are charging. So pretty cool stuff for video games. Nice updates, if anything. Also, improvements are going to be made to the strikes and suspension, if anything. That's going to be something that's worth noting. So when it comes to the FSD, right, not everyone will qualify for it depending on their driving capabilities. They have to pass certain requirements to do so, and these strikes are going to be kind of changing depending on the rules. There's also some more talk about how the FSD 12.4 is going to improve the vision-based monitoring and remove the steering wheel nag and a bunch of different things out there, alongside more hot weather improvements. So I just want to talk about some updates. Anyways, now let's just focus on what's happening with the charts. What do I think is going on? So we got a dip in SPY, we got a dip on Tesla, but so far we're kind of range bound, and Tesla's going to continue like that. So Tesla did push all the way up to about this 180 area, at least during the pre-market, and even today. Then we got this big dip all the way down to 173. We did call out this move. Now Tesla is getting bought back up. I told everyone that Tesla has the support right here in this range. This is what we've been doing so far for today. And Tesla remains range bound so far. So we have resistance that's approaching now at 176.69 to about 177. Then we have 180 above that and 182. We have support currently at 175, 173 to 172, followed by 170. Overall, Tesla is just kind of pushing towards our EMAs around this 176 zone. Might push a little higher, then continue to shuffle for some time. I don't really expect anything else that's too crazy. Overall, it just might remain range bound, and there's not really a big move quite yet. However, like I said in my earlier videos, when we zoom out of the chart, so long as there's no very, very bad news, Tesla still has a very, very bullish looking structure that is in the process of developing right now. So we have a nice inverse head and shoulders on Tesla, and we're going to likely see a big push back up to the 200s in the month of June. Now, is it going to happen tomorrow? No. Is it going to happen in like a week? I can't say that. It may take a couple of weeks to get there. But for now, when you zoom in, like I've been doing, we're just range bound, forming this right shoulder. That's all Tesla's doing, and we're going to likely continue to do so for the time being. That's all that's happening to Tesla. Nothing too crazy. So we'll give it some time as it's just range bound. How about for SPY? On SPY, the 4 hour is showing some life, but I'd be a little bit careful with this because we got a bit of a rejection, at least at that top point. So the question is, are we going to try to break this high? My analysis is very simple for SPY. I'm going to keep it very simple. If we continue to pump and we break this high at 531.3, we could continue to pump very close to this all-time high. Breaking this would turn us more bullish. We're going to be looking for a push up to the very close to 540 if we break this top. If we fail to do so and we end up losing this bottom right here at 529, if we lose 529 flat, I do anticipate we're going to be dipping down to this imbalance in the 527.5 area. And then the lower levels are going to become a lot more probable if we end up losing that support. As of right now, what's happened to SPY is this. We pushed all the way up to about 531. We came down a little bit to almost 2 points, and now we're just kind of shuffling around 530. We've been continuing to shuffle for quite some time, so we'll have to watch and see if we end up closing below that or not. I would keep in mind our EMAs are very key in the 529.5 to 529.3 area. If we lose that and very close to that 529 range, we'll see how this ends up moving. Lose 529.5 to 529, we could turn more bearish. If we hold it, we're just going to continue to shuffle. And as of right now, it looks to me like the SPY is shuffling for the most part, not really doing anything too crazy. So for now, watch and see how long it takes to develop. We could see this actually dip a little bit later if we continue to fail to hold up, and we'll see how things go. But what is possible is we have this high right here. We came down. We could be establishing a lower high, and then this could continue to fall. We'll just have to wait and see for confirmation. Do we lose 529 or not? That's going to be key for how we end up moving. For Nvidia, like I said in my early morning video, it still has more upside potential. Had we lost this support right here, then yes, we would dip to fill the gap. But I said that right now it looks bullish. So we're looking at 1,120 to 1,125 as our resistance zone. Breaking through that would open the doors for even higher levels for the charts. So we'll be watching to see how this ends up moving. But I'm watching this level right here. This is the level I had marked on Nvidia. I called this out, but I didn't actually mark it. Let me just mark it real quick. So I'm basically watching these two levels. This one right here as our resistance. This is the first level, and the next level is going to be all the way up here. If we do break 1,125, I'll be looking at 1,140 as our next level. We'll see how well we do for Nvidia, but overall, just note the share price is still favoring bulls a bit more. So Nvidia is still holding up very well. How about for the QQQ? Triple Q is also holding up decently. We're going to be watching to see if we're about to turn or not. We have a high all the way up here at 461. We made a lower high around the 460 area. And are we about to reject on the QQQ? If we end up losing our 50 EMA, 456, and we start sinking, we could turn more bearish. If we break past 461, we could try to push higher. Overall, we have a high here. We came down, made a lower high, and we could continue to kind of downtrend from here. So we'll watch to see if that ends up being the case. That is possible on the QQQ, but we have to watch for confirmation. We have to lose key support at 456 to start dipping lower. If we break the all-time high, we could pump more. As of right now, I'd be careful because Nvidia is helping this hold up, but there is a risk that we're making a lower high and we're about to start falling. So watch and see if this lower high holds or not, and we'll give this some time. For Apple's holding up relatively well, but notice that even though we did pump higher, we did form a slight bearish divergence right here. And now Apple's kind of rejecting. So we have support at 190.5 and then 189.3. We have resistance at 192. Overall, it's been shuffling between this area, showing some signs of it kind of rejecting a bit. So just be careful with that. With that being said, guys, that's it for the main tickers. Let me just go over a few more real quick. Amazon held 180 for the most part. We did dip just temporarily, getting down to 179 only to get bought back up. So if we hold above 180, once again, this does have potential to bounce. Lose that, and there's going to be a risk of it dipping all the way down to 178. That still holds. Overall, it's holding up relatively well so far. Meta is also holding up. We do have a possible head and shoulders like structure, but there's no sign of us getting a big rejection. We need to lose 472 to turn bearish, and to be bullish, you want to see it break a 482. Otherwise, we're just shuffling right now around the 476 area. We're just kind of shuffling for the time being. So I think that's the most likely possibility. There's nothing else that's too crazy happening. For a few more, we have GameStop. GameStop's trying to rebound right over here. I would pull up the 4 hour for GameStop and AMC for the people who are interested in this. If we do end up breaking this resistance right over here at 25, we're going to be looking for a much bigger push to 30 plus. And for AMC, we need to break past $5. If we break that, I'll be looking for another push. For now, it's accumulating very, very well. It's looking pretty good. So I would say it's still holding up decently, and we'll see how things go from here. One more thing, we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is dipping right now, guys. We have support currently at 67,500. If we lose that, I think we could get very close to our 200 EMA at 66,000. So just be careful. Bitcoin's showing a little bit of weakness. Our resistance right now to watch for 68,661. So overall, there is some weakness on the current chart, so we'll give it some time. With that being said, guys, unfortunately for Tesla, there's not really a whole lot going on. It's just range bound back and forth price action. So we're just going to be very patient. For the month of June, I do anticipate more upsides going to come later to Tesla. But for now, we are just completely range bound. So we'll give it some time. All right. With that being said, thank you all so much for listening. I'll see you guys in a few hours again. Have a great day and peace out.